Hello everybody and welcome to the Pounding Rocks channel, where we deal with D21 hardbodies and WD21 Pathfinders made by Nissan between 86.5 and 1997. You're looking at a 1992 Nissan Pathfinder that's been body swapped, engine swapped, transmission swapped, and flatbedded. Still a work in progress, but we are getting oh so close. But we're not talking about this truck today, but I am going to just kind of hover the camera over it just so I can kind of talk to you about something else completely unrelated to this truck while still keeping you guys entertained. So, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, there was a video put out by ThatDudeinBlue, and I know this is kind of dating and we're a little bit behind the curve here on this one, but it's just a thought that popped in my head recently after watching some older videos that I never actually got around to publishing on the channel. And I did a response to a video that ThatDudeinBlue did called Is the D21 Nissan Hardbody a 240SX in disguise? And I did upload that video about 5-6 years ago, where I did a response to that, and my conclusion was no, only because once you get past the fact that they have the same engine, the same transmission, they're both rear-wheel drive, and they both say Nissan on them, the similarities are just like over at that point. There's nothing else that they share. So while not to discount the Nissan Hardbody as being a capable vehicle that can do what the 240SX can do out of the box with some modifications, you're still having to do a lot of modifications to these trucks in order to be able to get them to be on par with a stock 240SX. So my answer to that was no. There's only 4 things that they share. They're both Nissans. They both have KA24 engines. They both have the same transmission, although the 5th gear is slightly different on the 240SX, and they're both rear-wheel drive. That's it. But the argument was that it's a 240SX in disguise because it can be used in the same fashion as the 240SX, which, as everybody knows, is one of the most popular drift vehicles on the market today, or ever has been. Drift tax, 240 tax, the whole 9 yards. And since all the 240s were getting used up in that fashion, people were looking for a viable alternative, and the D21 Hardbody came up as the next alternative because it's a very similar platform, but very different at the same time. Well, using the same argument, here's Benny to say hi, using the same argument that ThatDudeinBlue was trying to use, let's take it a step further. This is, as I said, this video is kind of dated, and I probably should have uploaded this about 5 years ago, but me, got caught up in the crosswind of buying a new house, new shop, having to move, and other projects that came up. It's better late than never. But let me pose this question to you. The D21 Nissan Hardbody was available with a VG30 engine, both in TBI format and multi-point fuel injection format as well. And it was, you could get them in 2-wheel drive, you could get them, they were obviously all rear-wheel drive. So how is that? I mean, could you make the case? Let me phrase it that way. Could you make the case that the 240, I'm sorry, let's just back up here a little bit and clear my mind here, because I got so much going on that I want to say in such a short period of time. Could the argument be made that the D21 Hardbody is a Z31 300ZX in disguise? They both share the VG30 engine. They both share the same transmission, albeit the casing is just a little bit different. So if you were to put one transmission in the other, you might have to modify the floor, but the main model number is exactly the same. They're both rear-wheel drive, if you go with a 2-wheel drive hardbody, and they both say Nissan on them. So did we miss an opportunity, a golden opportunity here, to argue that the D21 Hardbody is also a Z31 300ZX in disguise? Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe this video. Please subscribe because we are doing a lot of D21 stuff. The season out there is starting to change. It's starting to get a little bit more spring-like, and then we got summer coming up. We got car shows. This truck here is supposed to be running under its own power and may pull out of the garage here in the next few weeks. I just got a few fuel tank related items to finish up and some other little odds and ends. And we might be able to do a test drive to see exactly what needs to be addressed to keep it running. This truck right here is my 1995 Nissan Hardbody that I have used in autocross seasons in the past with the SCCA. Currently it is sleeping, but we'll be waking it up, and I think we're going to take that to some car shows as well. And then we have other projects as well here that you can follow. You know, it's kind of like pick a menu item and you can follow it to your heart's content. We have Le Rouge here, which used to be a two-wheel drive Nissan Hardbody that I did a lot of work on. It was in a series called Building a Fun Street Truck Using Junkyard Parts. There's a lot of junkyard parts on this thing, and the frame broke, and now we're going to turn it into a four-wheel drive mud truck using a frame off of another Pathfinder, very similar to this project, which is a 1992 Pathfinder underneath a hardbody shell. We also have Dog Bus, the 2004 Nissan Xterra. We're going to be doing some service work on this thing because it does have check engine light on it, and it runs great, but it definitely needs the check engine light addressed before it can be put back on the road. And then hiding its face over here because it's a little shy is Crew Cab 370ZX, or Crew Cab 370Z. This is my new autocross car, which I'm hoping that at some point I can get it on my trailer, take it up to an event with the SCCA and run it in the stock class. It's basically, right now, it's been my practice platform for making decals. My company is Water Street Decals. I can make a lot of different automotive related decals for you, for your vehicle, customized. Let me know if that can be of assistance to you. And yeah, I'm looking forward to firing this up and finishing up a little bit of brake work, putting some tires on it, and just taking it out and beating on it on the stock class. So this one has O2 sensors and evap codes. Still a great truck. It's known as Dog Bus. It's going to be a vehicle that I use for my dog walking business. And of course, Le Rouge, which will be a four-wheel drive mud truck. Nothing street legal, just a fun beater that I can just go out and throw mud around in, and that'll be fun. And this is Double Dare XL, as it says in the back window. And of course, this is the autocross green truck, which should be coming out of hibernation here in the next like 4 weeks or so. Probably mid-April, I'll probably put a battery in it and start it up and see where we're at and do some maintenance stuff before this. Hopefully we get some rain, get rid of the salt. But anyways, I, from here on out, will be referring to myself as Dr. Rocks. I will be your D21 doctor here at the Pounding Rocks Pounding Rocks Medical Center for D21 trucks. This is Pounding Rocks Truck Shop. And if anyone's wondering where the phrase Pounding Rocks came from, I'll throw this out there as well. It's basically the same way as saying, go jump in a lake. You tell somebody to go pound rocks. I used to hear that a lot in the trucking industry when I was doing parts. It'd be like, you know, hey, go jump in a lake. Why don't you go pound rocks with that, you know? So I adopted it because it's got an off-road kind of flavor to it. So the channel was originally a different name. I'm not going to reference that name, but you can go back in history and find out. But now the channel has been renamed, and it is Pounding Rocks. And I've always addressed myself as myself. But I was driving around today and I thought Dr. Rocks is kind of funny. So, and I've got 3 shop dogs here that will entertain you every once in a while as they pass through the shop and say hi and go hide in corners and stuff. So like, share, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up. That really helps the algorithm. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you think. Was the D21 Hardbody a 300ZX, a Z31 300ZX in disguise, using the same principles that ThatDudeinBlue used about 5-6 years ago in his video? Thanks, guys. Tuning out. See ya.